Hi folks, Richard Curtis, CEO of Fed Chsir and host of the Fed Chsir podcast. It is a beautiful but windy day in Northwest Colorado. It is Saturday, August 24, 2024. A whole lot's going on in the economy and geopolitics. You probably haven't seen it or paid attention too much because everything's been, all that you heard about last week was really about the Democratic National Convention, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz taking the nomination for president and vice president for the Democratic Party. Now, that party is pretty thin on substance and pretty high on rhetoric. It's about joy and hope. There's not a whole lot on economics, which is it's really lacking. What we did see was Robert F. Kennedy, or RFK, the independent, actually bow to the race and endorse Trump. So that was a big one. But what we also saw last week, which are a couple things happening, was that $74 and change oil prices was where oil prices settled on Friday. And we also had Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve in Jackson Hole talking about the signaling, and basically not just signaling, saying we're ready to lower interest rates and saying that we're going to actually cut interest rates. So the market cheered and went up 400 points. The Dow went up 400 points. So that's really interesting considering the fact that the market was already pricing that in. We saw the 10-year yield didn't actually move that much in response. So the 10-year yield was something around 3.8 and change. And you would have really thought that if the 10-year yield was baking that in, it means that the market has already sort of baked this in. So the gains that you're seeing, on the stock market seem a little overblown, especially given only a few weeks ago when I was out here. That's when we had the yen carry trade volatility when Japan raised their interest rates. So a lot going on in the economy and a lot going on within that space. But everything to catch you up on the global economy, things you might have been missing or might not heard so much about because of the DNC and because of the Fed, is the fact that Ukraine has actually penetrated into Russia, and they're not calling it an invasion, but they're calling it an incursion. So you have Ukraine in Russia. They've taken out a few bridges, and there's a lot going on. There's a huge gamble by Zelensky. Part of it is to really boost morale within Ukraine and to get the troops into re-supporting their invigoration in just fighting this war. So with that, folks, really hope you take a listen to the latest podcast. It is geopolitics and economics, everything to get you up to speed, and a new podcast on my report that I did with Common Sense Institute on the high and skyrocketing electricity prices in Colorado that Xcel is passing along to the consumer. That is going to be that is the next podcast that's going to drop. Can't wait for that to drop, and the paper is on LinkedIn, so we'll put that link in the show notes as well. So talk to you soon, folks. Bye.